Hello everybody, I am Fracture and this is Let's Play Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 The Sith Lords, and I'm using the Restored Content mod 1.8.1, something I haven't done before, so that'll be new for me as well. So, in the last episode we just made it through the mining levels, sort of the fuel processing facility. At the nick of time it exploded as we left, and we found ourselves in this area. Having played this game many a time, I'll do some things that may seem illogical, and then you'll see why in the end. It's basically metagaming. I've done this before, so let's see. Like the logical thing to do would be talk to him immediately, but we need to do some other things first. So to save time, we'll just skip him for now. As fun as he is to talk to, and we'll just do a little wandering around. And here's one of the reasons. Sonic imprint sensor. Excuse me. With the protocol droid's help, I've finished work on the sonic imprint sensors. I've installed them in the mining droids, but I'm locking up the original here to prevent other miners from using its ability to record and play back voices to override the droid's voice print protocols. Wow, what amazing technology! They can actually record and play back voices. Boy, imagine a world where that would be possible. Scary and exciting at the same time.
Greetings.
Yes, greetings. I hear chatting. I feel we're about to start a fight. Now, as I recall, one of these things is going to be dropping grenades. Oh, okay, I guess we'll fight this one first. Come on, stupid thing. Thank you. Well, that wasn't me. That was weird. I think one of these other guys shot a grenade, because I certainly didn't take out all three of those guys in one go. Unless there's an effect I didn't realize, that shooting those maintenance droids or hitting those maintenance droids when they explode, it's harmful to the enemies as well. That would be new to me. Yeah, I'm double checking just to make sure. Early in the game, it's save yourself some grief and find everything there is to find. Whoops. There we go. Sorry, mouse is going crazy. Alright, let's do a Force Valor. That'll help. Try a stun droid, see if we luck out. Yeah, he saved, so it did half damage, I think, and didn't stun him. So, actually, I don't want to use another one. Let's just get in there and fight. Wow. Sometimes you just luck out. I can't believe the luck I'm having. Seriously, sometimes you get into these combat situations and you just can't seem to hit these guys. It's funny, this kind of shape now is very reminiscent of Curiosity, the Mars lander. I don't know if you've seen its thermal nuclear battery, but sticking off the back of the thing is very much the same shape as that. How did they know? And I think I'll do this, since we've got the... Oh shoot, he didn't switch weapons for me. There we go. Well, whatever. I could restart combat and sort that out, but... Ah, excellent. Too late. Nya. Jeez, where are all these guys coming from? Okay, we've still got a bit of health, but let's, why tempt fate? Let's go ahead and level up and reset my health. I'm going to go with recommended, and it's saying wisdom. I'm eventually going to be a Jedi, so wisdom is good. I'll leave it at that. Go ahead and just use recommended. Now, very tempting and you'll get to see what I mean about the weird screen effect that has. And I think once, let's see, what does it recommend? It's recommending, yeah, burst of speed, same as me. Okay. I'm not sure if you guys are going to like that, but let's go ahead and use it. Did he use it? Yep, there he goes. He uses a lot of force power to do that, though. Miss. So here's the blur effect that I was talking about. It doesn't happen when you're fighting, but yeah, it looks like really badly compressed video. It's not. That's just the what you see is what I see. But it's just too useful not to use. Especially like at this level, not so much. I get slightly better dodge, so there's benefit aside from the running speed. But at later levels I actually get more attacks per round, which is hugely helpful. Alright, I think I'm going to let my force points boost just a little bit. Because as I recall there's mines or something through one of these doors. Yeah, it'd be nice to have droids stunned before they get too close. They're proximity mines that they chase you basically. No, cancel combat. So you want to blow them up before they... I think this is going to be disastrous. I think I'm running up to hit it anyway and it's going to blow up in my face, yeah. Oh well. Yeah, it's not doing any real damage, so I'm not going to worry about it. That one did. Yeah, that one didn't do any real damage either. Alright, so... what you do about nothing. Locked. Can't even remember the headgear that I'm wearing. Looks like the guy from the Cloud City. What was it? Vespin? The landing dock guy. Maintenance. Access maintenance logs. Oh, a lot of these.
Finished the sonic imprint sensor prototype for the mining droids. Everyone knows they need an upgrade. The sensor should allow me to issue voice commands to them rather than manually adjusting their routine each time the mining specifications change. I've been keeping the sensor in the maintenance workshop for the time being. I wanted to test it first by recording and playing back some simple voice commands.
Alright.
Finished my examination of the droids from the Ebonhawk freighter. The T3 unit looked like it had shut itself down. The protocol droid, however, made up for it. It talked my ear off for most of the hour, asking questions about the facility, the personnel, and so on. Still, it wanted to make itself useful, so I put it to work until its master wakes up from the med bay. It seems to have some skills in speaking to droid behavior core, so there's been some trouble with some of the mining droids, so I'm signing off. Been speaking to the protocol droid about the Jedi in med bay. I thought they'd all gone away or been killed in the Jedi Civil War. The droid told me that his master is the only Jedi he knows of in all the galaxy. That the Jedi had served in the Mandalorian Wars almost 10 years ago. That would have meant that the Jedi served under Revan for a time. Maybe the Jedi knows what happened to Revan after the end of the Jedi Civil War.
Cool, we're starting to get some backstory from the strangest of people.
Been too busy to enter a log for a while. There's been more and more accidents since that Jedi arrived. The miners are starting to get restless, especially KotOR2. KotOR2 said the exchange is offering a huge bounty on Jedi Knights and that we can make a fortune if we sell the Jedi to Nar Shaddaa. Security shut down that idea pretty quick. But I don't think KotOR2 and his men are going to give up that easy. I mentioned the trouble to the Jedi's protocol droid, and he seemed concerned about his master's safety. I told the droid not to worry. The KotOR2 wouldn't...
Yeah, the KotOR2 wouldn't. I'm already getting the impression this KotOR2 guy is trouble. Actually, one of the interesting things, I've played through this many, many times, but of course, it was only the first time I didn't skip all the audio logs and everything. And that's been so long I don't remember any of these, so I'm actually probably at some point knew the story, but since forgotten it, and now I'm learning it again. When I replayed this last time, of course you can hit spacebar and skip these, so I shot through all these logs. You still want to play them back, but you play them back at 1,000,000 miles an hour, because anytime there's a hint in here, you need to at least pretend to play the log back.
With the protocol droid's help, I made some upgrades to the sonic imprint sensor. using some of the droid's vocabulary subroutines. In addition to its ability to store and record voices, it now has the droid's full array of alien languages, including Basic. Should prove useful as a portable translator. I tried to make sure the protocol unit got some credit for helping fashion it, but the droid refused, saying the work was reward enough. I was thinking of installing the prototype in one of the mining droids as a test, and see what happens.
I hope he's talking about Basic the speech and not Basic the programming language. That's a awfully clunky way of... Boy, I would hope by now it would be long gone. Alright. Well, it's still sticking around though as a macro language.
The dock officer reported the droids repairing the Ebonhawk. I installed a voice print ID on the droid console system. Someone ordered them to repair that freighter. I can't find a trace of the order anywhere. If anyone tries that again, they won't be able to do it from this terminal unless I let them. The voice print should cut any user off from the central functions unless I give the code. The maintenance check on the droids didn't help. If anything, the accidents have increased. Security interrogated me about the droids and they weren't too happy with my answers. I don't understand it though. These aren't combat models. They shouldn't even know how to attack. I can't help but think, what if somebody staged the initial trouble with the mining droids just to get them all sent to maintenance, and then did something to them? I think security's right. Someone's trying to sabotage this facility and they're using the droids to do it. But why?
But why? Why, damn it, why? Alright. Emergency routines. Emergency lockdown in effect. Check for exits from the fuel depot. Containment field active. Administration turbolift active. Emergency turbolift shutdown. Airlock active. Check containment field. Containment field activated. Breach in fuel lines detected. Access to hangar bay denied. Trace the source of that breach. The system is registering a blast in one of the main fuel lines. The containment field has been activated to keep the explosion isolated within the hangar bay and fuel lines. Check the other exits. Turbolift. Turbolift to the administration level is programmed to automatically open only when entering administration from the fuel depot. Mining tunnels. The turbolift door to the mining tunnels has been locked down and cannot be opened. You cannot use it to re-enter the tunnels. Well, yeah, the tunnels essentially blew up behind me, so that makes sense. Check the airlock. That is an airlock. Whoops, accidentally. What did I... That was interesting. What the heck? Emergency routines. Check the exits, I think. Check the airlock. I clicked on something and it had an interesting message there. Open the door to the airlock. Access denied. Okay, strangely enough, the console has been voice printed. Not only does it require a code, but the code has to be spoken by the user's voice. Most likely the voice of the maintenance officer, who is dead. It's a real shame there's no technology that can record and play back a human... Oh, wait a minute! Access comm systems. Signal unit destroyed. Access cameras. We really don't need to do this. In fact, let's log out. Okay. So we kind of know what we need to do. We have this. This thing is... okay. That goes to the administration level. But all that happens if you go up there at this point is you say, "Hi, Atten, how's it going?" And he says, "You done yet?" And then you end up back down here. So... now...
It is a pleasure to see you intact, Master.
Yeah. So there's several ways you can do this, and I've done it several, so I'll kind of discuss them. We have this voice activation unit now, and you can kind of run around to the various logs and collect snippets of the voice activation code and then piece them together. You know, you have to go to 3 logs and just play them back, and it will record bits and pieces until you have enough that it makes it sound like the activation code. It's not a puzzle or anything, it's just you have to walk all over the level to find these logs. So, no big deal. The other thing you can do is what I'll do, is be persuasive and trick the protocol droid rather too easily,
It is a
actually.
pleasure to see you intact, Master. How may I be of assistance?
So what we're going to do is, eventually, if I can find the way through the discussion trees, convince him to tell me the code. and I'll record it as he says it in this guy's voice. So if we repeat a bunch of this stuff, that's why. I can't remember how to get there. How do you know me? I'm not your master.
Answer. I am a survivor of the Harbinger, just as you were, Master. With the unexpected termination of my previous master, you are the only organic which I may now serve.
Ah, okay, so I wasn't a specific owner. I seriously am learning this stuff as well. I wasn't a specific owner of his. I just basically happened to be the last living human, so I'm now his master.
Answer. The captain of the Harbinger, Master. I was in transit to Telos to facilitate communications and terminate hostilities. However, we did not arrive at our intended destination.
Terminate hostilities, indeed.
Irritated answer. Oh, Master, it is such a long, dull story, and not terribly relevant to our current situation.
Well, actually, sure, why the heck not? Why don't you tell me anyway?
Hesitant explanation. That has been the subject of considerable discussion since our arrival here, Master. Many have attempted to claim you and this unit as salvage. I was crudely interrogated concerning our brief history together on board the Harbinger, before its communications, weapons, and engines suffered the cascade failure that disabled the ship.
And how might this cascade failure have come to be? How come I don't remember any of this?
Speculation. It is possible you were incapacitated and locked in the well-shielded cargo compartment as the Harbinger was being systematically crippled, Master.
Incapacitated?
Clarification. Yes, Master. No doubt the flurry of destruction on board the Harbinger somehow drugged you into a stupor from which you could not awaken. Most curious.
And most convenient. Drugged? What do you mean, drugged? Maybe you better explain that stupor part.
Placation. Merely a turn of phrase, Master. The implication that your state was due to the result of ingesting large quantities of Juma juice was unintentional. I meant to communicate only that you were somehow rendered unconscious before you were locked securely in the cargo hold.
Locked?
Clarification. By locked, I meant sealed, Master. My vocabulator seems to be malfunctioning.
Certainly. Fine, what happened next?
Recitation. Following the unusual set of coincidences that led to the cascade failure in the Harbinger's systems, we were boarded by a small freighter with unknown ID codes. It appeared that this freighter had been attacked, and the captain wanted to study it. This freighter appeared to be still spaceworthy. Your cargo compartment was breached, and you were taken on board the freighter shortly before the Harbinger's systems began to go critical. I, too, managed to board the freighter before the Harbinger's destruction. We were most fortunate to have survived, Master.
Any idea what had attacked the small freighter?
Evaluation. Master, I do not know. Judging from the damage, it had been attacked by a much larger vessel. And when it attempted to escape the Harbinger with you on board, it was fired on again. Addendum. It does seem odd that such a small vessel has a high probability of attracting the attention of much larger vessels. Not a welcome trait in a freighter, to be sure.
Let's see. What was this freighter that the Harbinger brought on board? That's, we just finished that one. Why would they take me aboard?
Explanation. I believe it was a smuggler's vessel by the name of the Ebon Hawk. Speculation. As to its purpose, I do not know. Perhaps it was always its intention to play dead, then kidnap you off the Harbinger and rob me of my bounty.
Bounty?
Clarification. By bounty, I refer to your life, Master. It would pain me to see you damaged in any way. That is why the arrival of this Ebon Hawk caused me considerable distress.
Yes, I'm sure that's the form of bounty that you're referring to. But why would that ship have taken me off the Harbinger?
Apology. My memory core cannot provide a clear answer on that point, Master. Suffice to say that once we arrived at this floating rock, our situation became much clearer.
How so?
Explanation. Despite my market value, Master, the miners were far more interested in you. It did not take long for me to ascertain the reason for this. While an HK protocol droid is a valuable piece of property, Jedi are worth much more in certain exclusive markets across the galaxy. Painful admission. I must confess to feelings of inferiority at the speculated difference between my value and the price for your capture. I was forced to remind myself it was not due to a failing of my model or function, but because you were a Jedi.
How did you find out I was a Jedi?
Surprised answer. Why, I told them, Master.
How did they find out?
Jedi who served with Revan in the Mandalorian Wars, are you not? I hope all that has happened has not been the result of a miscommunication. If so, then the problem lies with the core word databases, which are notoriously spotty.
Unpleasantness? What are you talking about?
Answer. All that has happened has been because they believe you to be a Jedi, Master. They debated what to do with you as you lay unconscious in the medical bay. One group seemed intent on selling you as property. The other group opposed this.
Then what happened?
3 standard hours after the division between the miners became apparent, accidents began to occur throughout the facility. A result of improper maintenance, I believe. These accidents coincided with the degradation of the mining droid behavioral cores. Crude models are prone to such failures, resulting in murderous rampages. The mortality rate of organics in the facility rose quickly.
So what happened to the rest of the miners?
Many miners began to join you in the medical bay as a cascade of flawlessly timed detonations occurred in isolated gas pockets in the lower levels of the facility. The explosions herded the miners into emergency sections of the station, quickly and efficiently cutting them off from communications and facility control. But sadly enough, not the ventilation systems.
Sadly enough? What do you mean? Anybody else getting the impression this guy isn't, what he seems to be? Yeah, I'm kidding. Alright.
You see, the explosions had damaged specific sections of this facility's ventilation systems, causing a slow, lethal buildup of toxic fumes in the dormitory level.
How convenient. Are there any left alive to tell the gruesome tale?
Answer. I do not know, Master. Ironically enough, any miner that fled to the dormitory level to protect themselves from the droids and the explosions would find themselves in a gas-filled death trap.
A death-filled gas trap. Then I need to get in there to rescue them.
It is unlikely any miners remain alive. As I said, the dormitory has been cut off from the rest of the facility, as has the hangar bay. There is no escape.
Can we try and contact them using a comlink?
Apology. Unfortunately, communication with the dormitory section is severed, Master. It is perhaps for the best, especially if any other accidents have occurred in that section. If that were the case, the severed comlink would have spared us the satisfaction of hearing the miners' screams as they lived out their last moments in fear and terror.
Satisfaction?
Rapid retraction. Why, yes, satisfaction in knowing their fate, Master. It would be unfortunate if they had been slaughtered, but there would be a calm, comforting certainty that there is nothing we can do to escape until a ship arrives.
We don't know what happened to them, so we need to find out.
Theory. You could walk across the surface of the asteroid to the dormitory airlock, but such a route would be extremely hazardous, and I do not wish to see you damaged.
Yes, because I am such a bounty. Those miners could be hurt or in danger. We need to make sure they're all right.
Warning. Master, continued exploration of this facility may place you in unnecessary danger. I encourage you to return to the medical bay and wait for retrieval from a vessel that is no doubt on the way, even as we continue this pointless conversation.
I'm going to find those miners, and you're going to help me.
Weary resignation. Very well, Master, but there is very little that I can do. You see, the airlock is sealed by a code.
Alright, then how do I get that code?
Correction. Oh, I already possess the code, Master, but I am afraid that it will do you no good.
What do you mean?
Condescending explanation. Master, the console governing the droid maintenance area and the airlock is voice-printed musing. In the last days of his life, the maintenance officer was quite careful about voice protocols, bordering on paranoid obsession. Conjecture. I suspect once he realized something was wrong in the facility, he voice-locked the droid bay functions. A prudent measure, but in the end, he met the same fate as the rest of the organics.
You said you already have the code?
Condescending explanation. Oh, yes, Master. The code is Maintenance Control Voice Print ID R1B5. But unless the maintenance officer speaks the code, it is useless.
If the maintenance officer is dead, how can I get him to speak the code?
Answer. Master, you cannot. You are trapped here just as I am. There is nothing to do, except patiently wait for whatever the future has in store for us.
I had some other questions for you.
Of course, Master. How may I be of assistance?
Now, I seem to remember... Yes, we could... This is kind of counterintuitive, but one way to get there is you ask about the body that we've just been talking about. So let's start.
Answer. That is all that remains of the maintenance officer, Master. At the end, he was quite incoherent from the pain, and attempts to facilitate communications with him proved useless. I heard his dying screams as the droids he tended turned on him, mining him like a piece of asteroid rock.
Did he say anything at the end?
Recitation? Oh, yes, Master. The record of his last moments were...
5 droids, burning through the outer door. They're forcing their way into the bay. Please, someone there! Oh no, they're through! Oh, my leg! They're burning through my leg! Oh, stop! Stop, please!
Addendum. His remaining attempts at communication are variations in decibel, Master, ranging from frenzied screams to gibbering inarticulate attempts to beg for his life.
So I could grab that piece by piece by using that first option, sonic sensor. But I think I can get him to speak the whole thing and just save us some time here, so... Wait, if you can play back his voice, can't you speak the voice code?
Objection. Master, to commit such an act would be in violation of the ethics programming most droids are believed to possess.
That's
I am
vague.
afraid there is nothing that can be done.
Here we go. So we can basically rather easily get him to say it. The fact that you can mimic voices is pretty impressive. What would it sound like if he were to speak the code and then the one, yeah. So I need both persuade and the sonic sensor. I understand if your limited functionality prevents you from mimicking the maintenance officer's voice accurately.
Irritated objection. Master, there is nothing wrong with my communications functionality. I will prove it. A recitation.
Maintenance control voice print ID R1B5.
There. Was that sufficient, Master?
Yes, I think that's all I needed.
Confused query. I am sorry, Master. Were you speaking to yourself?
Never mind. I will be going now. So, we finally got it, but yeah, the other way to get that is...
Greetings. It is a pleasure to see you intact,
you can see me from there, is to piece it together from the logs, but we don't need to now. We got him to just give it to us. So let's go ahead and unlock this. Enter voice print.
Maintenance control, voice print ID, R1B5.
Beeping from droid console. Open airlock. Log out. Alright, so that's what we needed. Have we looted that? No, we haven't. Reflex package, so that's a brain implant of sorts. So here we go, the airlock. And actually I think I can go one more level, yeah. Alright, so with that I think that probably makes a pretty good video. And I'm a little worried that I haven't been recording, so hopefully I have. I have a mute button on my headset, but when I press it, it doesn't turn on the little light, so I hope I haven't screwed something up and been recording this on mute the whole time. Anyway, as always, I thank you for watching, and if I did actually record this, I thank you for listening. I encourage you to leave comments, suggestions, and infantile abuse. No, don't do that. I don't want that. Or infantile abuse. I promise I read it all. And if you do like my videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel or give me the thumbs up. It really does help. So we will see you next time. Have a good one, folks. Cheers.